Celestial rising, divine denouement, and grand night to the beautiful deity watching this video. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another contradict everything, question everything. I don't like how I did this. This is way too big. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why is this that big. But then unlabeled truth, attracts your, what did I say in there? Attract your future self. Then the bottom part, the world is your, my fault, y'all. The world is your who? Highway. The world is your highway. My bad, that took way too long. And then on the back, it's crazy because it's you versus you. So Michael Jordan from North Carolina and Michael Jordan the Bulls. So Michael Jordan from North Carolina is dunking on the Bulls version of himself. And that's kind of crazy too with the symbolism as far as the colors and the hues of consciousness. Because I had a conversation with Crazy, and I asked Crazy, how crazier can life be? And Insanity stepped into the conversation and said, boy, it get crazier than this. And I was like, we're back with another message. And understand, if you choose to and you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. This is basically also a story time, and this is also just like a realization time. I'm still in the process of fathoming the inversion of the trans community, Baphomet worshipers, all of that. And by the way, I gotta always start this video because this topic can be very sensitive, and I understand that. And I'm very considerate of other people's feelings, even though it doesn't seem like I care about other people's feelings, because I actually don't. But all beings deserve love, and some people don't even know about what's going on. This stuff gets so deep, I had to take screenshots on Twitter. I just had to observe people who knew about this stuff. And it's like I'm just being guided day by day on how to bring this to the light. And no matter what, even if I do shine light on this enlightenment, it still won't have enough enlightenment shined upon it. And I was just it was somebody on Twitter was like, Jennifer Gardner is a trans man born a man, and her trans kids with Affleck, etc., they are satanic. Now, let me keep going. Ben the sicko, alcoholic and drug addict, is a mess. Just ask him. It's all tied into Kabbalah Freemasonry, the origins of this agenda. The practice of gender inversion is part of their religion, Baphomet worship. The people who are brainwashed by deception will never believe it. Now, as we interpret that, understand, from the year 1000 to the year 2025, currently right now, everything that you've been taught, everything that you taught yourself, everything you think you know, everything you thought of that you thought you knew, all the thoughts that you think you knew, and all the thoughts that you are knowing and going to know in the future and have already known in infinity. From year 1 to year 2000, we have all been lied to, no matter how much truth we pour upon ourselves. These beings are so nasty, so deceitful. In the Talmud, they have 8 genders, and they're able to categorize these genders. Also, my 2 trans investigators, they decided to do the skull overlay on me. I already showed y'all the masculine side of me. Now, there was also a masculine skull and a feminine skull that I was able to fit into. That's why my other trans investigator, and the thing is too, I was confident in allowing her to do that. She asked for consent. I appreciate you. She asked for consent, and when I seen it, I didn't feel any kind of way. So they would categorize me as androgynous. But that's what's rare, because it's like my soul fits into both the men and the women, but I'm born a man, having a perception of a man and a woman. That's exactly why many men and women relate and they support my videos, because it's like you understand that I am able to communicate with you through wisdom and overstanding. So the masculine side of my skull is me living in wisdom. What I learned is to the right side of my skull, so like me, my eyes fitting into the woman's skull and the men's skull of me fitting in there, my original self, that's the wisdom side. Y'all see that every single video. And it goes beyond my overstanding. That's the feminine side of my skull. I fit in both overlays. So because I'm in the female skull as well, my overstanding my understanding and my understanding and my overstanding to wisdom goes beyond this realm. That's exactly why I'm a rare breed. Like, there's not many beings out there who can have an overlay of their skull and be born like a man and not fit in a woman's skull, but also fit in a man and woman's skull. I done seen like 4 forensic files on me from my 2 trans investigators, and Skull and Gate on Twitter, man. Tell me why I requested certain celebrities and he was able to expose them. I'm going to expose them. So Kai and Drewski, you up next too. I was able to get information on them, and they were both born biological women. It makes sense of why they put streamers and beta sex slaves in front of your child's face in the basement, letting you know that this little girl right here really is in a guy avatar or a costume. Mind you, celebrities aren't even real people, but they're just transmutations of inverted trafficked consciousness. Celebrities aren't, I'm gonna say it again, I know somebody's like, what? Celebrities aren't real people. Because when people say, they're still real people, nothing is real in a world full of illusions. That's the most ignorant shit ever. Celebrities are not real people. They are inverted perceptions of trafficked solar energies. Now, of course, there are a smidget of them who are natural born beings, but then eventually there are levels to fame and fortune. The higher you go, the more you lose yourself in the money. When more money starts coming in and you're just flooded with it, to where people can't even fathom how much you actually make on a daily basis or a monthly basis, excuse me, you now begin to fall into deeper occultic practices that the masses will never be able to learn in this lifetime. Since the year 1, they've been trafficking kids before the year 1. I only said the year 1 to 2025 because that's only the timelines that people still cannot fathom. We have been here for 2025 years. How? You have to ask yourself, how? How? And somebody can sit here and explain that to me for 24 hours, and I will listen to them eating a salad, playing the game, making a video. I'm gonna still hear you out because I'm open-minded. When you're done talking, I'm gonna sit there and say, you said all of that unconsciously to make me be conscious to your unconsciousness, thinking that I was going to unconsciously believe what you thought you said. Why would I believe what you never said to me? Makes no sense to me. So if somebody defends this stuff, which they will, because on my Instagram and all that, I already called out 3 people for worshiping the Baphomet and Lucifer. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing. Because, and I just had to take a lot of screenshots too, as far as like how they do it. Because I remember reading, someone asked, how do 2 men, somebody said, how do 2 men have children? What am I missing? Surrogate women birth them. And I was reading too, there's a gensational surrogate, someone who is born to give birth to children and give them away or something like that. So they're not actually the real birth giver of the child, but they only have kids just to give them away. I was like, wow. So like a lot of these women, even abortions too, So I said it before. A lot of these, when you abort your child, a lot of times they're not only sexually abusing them through satanic ritualistic practices and oaths that nobody will be able to comprehend. It's so nasty. They cutting the heads off of children upside down, like turn them upside down, transmuting their energy and their blood so that they can stay connected to that Luciferian source that they feel as if it's so divine. But that's why the pentagram was inverted. So originally, like, the pentagram was meant for a positive practice. Like, it was meant for healing. It was meant for us to talk with our angelic guides. And the thing is too, I don't mean using your tongue. We were mentally being with our beings in higher planes of being, till these inverts, these perversions crawled on top of the earth. So the thing is, the fallen angels, like, they call them fallen because they're actually inverted. So, like, angels never fell. Like, that's how this shit is so deep. My mind is having trouble even comprehending what I've known for eons. It's like I said, I'm climbing deeper into the rabbit hole, but this is the first time I slowed down since I was 5 years old. The first time I slowed down in just consciousness. My mind is always moving. I can't even sleep because this topic has gotten me out of character. It's crazy to me that it's just crazy. That's how I'm talking so calm, because it's just like, there's no way. There is just no way. Like, and the thing is too, I have so much proof that tells me that there's a way, but I'm denying the proof because it's just like, we don't know that a lot of our families are a part of this hidden occult. Just last night, I asked my mother just to have a conversation with her, just to do a social experiment, to talk about it. And she failed. I baited her ego into having a conversation about the occult. I asked her, what got you interested in the occult? And she said, like, what do you mean? And I was talking about as far as, like, secret societies or, Eastern Star and all that. And she was saying, those things are not occult. They are fraternities and sororities. I was like, what's the difference? And she was just like, give me a definition. And I was like, I feel. She's like, no, not how you feel, the definition. And I was just like, so you want me to read unconscious, simulated information that never was here? You want me to go on Google and read to you what I already know? Okay, went on Google. I read the AI version and the definition from a subconscious mind. Both went to the same exact thing. A hidden practice, hidden information that the masses does not know or will ever learn. Hidden knowledge from the deep. It's occultic, meaning that they're doing alchemy and they're tapping into spirituality practices. When I mentioned that, she's sitting here denying it. And the thing is too, it's her trauma. I gotta realize that I can't get mad at my unconscious mother that's been plagued by Lucifer that plagued her womb at a young age. I can't get mad that Lucifer is holding my mom's past in front of her eyes every single day she opens them from her actual reality. I can't get mad at my mom for that. All I can do is spread love and spread joy to Satan. That's all I can do to Satan. I gotta forgive Lucifer for what he did to my mother. But that shit's sick. It's sick. Not saying that she's not a woman. What I'm saying is, as far as plaguing her womb and fucking up her mind to where I was born into a fucked up mindset, it makes sense on why I'm insane. It makes sense on why I'm detached from emotions, because how can my mom pour emotions outside material possessions? How could she pour love emotionally to me when her emotions were taken from her? How can I sit there and cry when I have no more tears to give to the world anymore? How? What is crying going to do in an illusion that never was here? I laid down last night and talked to myself subconsciously and was like, it gets lonely when you become too conscious of your unconsciousness. And people sit here thinking as if they're ready to be on this journey of consciousness. If you can't even be conscious of your unconsciousness, then you will never understand the levels of consciousness. In this lifetime, I never thought I would ever think like this. That's exactly why I am the definition of if I can do it, so can you. I'm wearing my thoughts. I am wearing my manifestations out loud. You can't make this stuff up. When I was talking to my mother, she tried to go back and forth with me. And she basically mentioned, what's your argument? I said, no need for an argument when I'm just having a conversation. That's how I knew that the wiser I get, and I am, the more detached I become from my satanic illusion of my mother's hologram. That's what hurts the most. It hurts to know that you unconsciously defend inverted Baphomet Luciferian worshipers, and I still love you no matter what. It hurts to know that the people in my family could be inverted, and somebody could ask me, what would you do if they were? At this point, I'm so exhausted mentally, I can't do anything but love them for what they think they are. I had to love the delusion, but stay far away from it. That's what I'm learning right now. I had to love people for what their delusion thinks it is, but I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm at the point to where I don't want to talk to damn near anybody no more. If you can't help me on this journey, leave me alone. If you troll, I'm going to make a video on you and do gematria on you. I'm going to expose who you are. Leave me alone. I need beings around me who know they're authentic. Do you know how hard it is to be born in a realm from day one till now, being lied to and seeing through the lies? At first, being young, couldn't articulate, didn't know how to at first. Was quiet, majority of my life still am now. Observing, listening. I'm always listening, always learning, always watching, always talking, always doing something to stay above my subconscious mind so that I don't mentally die. Every single day, I'm questioning how lonely I can get, but I'm never alone. I sit and lay in my thoughts at night in the dark, telling myself that I'm never alone, but I feel lonely. How the fuck can I be lonely when I'm never alone, nor lonely? I asked lonely, how lonely do you get? And lonely told me, I don't know. I don't think I'm alone. I feel lonely sometimes, but that's okay because I realize that whenever I'm around people and they don't know themselves, I just feel lonely because they don't understand what I'm thinking of. How is it that I can understand what your thoughts are? I can interpret your questions that you think are hard to answer, but whenever I give you a question to ask for you to answer, you can't answer it. But I can answer all of your questions. I can finish your thoughts for you. I can interpret your past, present, and future without even knowing you, without predicting it as a prediction itself. I mean, and as the conversation, as my mom and I, as it kept going, she would wait 1 to 3 minutes to gather her thoughts because she was trying to like clock my tea, as the baddie said, right? She was trying to clock my tea. Wasn't clocked at all. Because for one, you thinking that I wanted to argue with you already proved how lost you were mentally. I don't argue. If I was going to argue, I'm going to argue with my equal. No offense to you, mother. I always love you. I'll always take care of you no matter what. That's why I go so hard on YouTube. I can't talk to you the way I can talk to the people in the two-dimensional screen. You know how sad that is? I can't talk to God, but I told God I'll be back in a second because, man, it's so hard not to act reckless. But to whom much is given, much is tested, right? Isn't that what an invert told you? You gotta love them for what they're not. That's what I'm learning. At this point, there's a reflection of supporter who says something amazing, fascinating. I love your mind too. Your name is, you say peace, I think it's Omnis, peace Omnis. But you follow me on Patreon too. Hey, thank you for the support. Hey, you help me pay my bills. I appreciate you. But you see I'm working, so I apologize for the delay in the videos on Patreon. But you know, I'm just trying to get y'all these videos. And the thing is too, thank y'all for getting that Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan video to 22 likes right now. Part 2 coming tonight. But as I'm talking to her, my mom would wait 1 to 2 minutes to get like her point across. And so she was like, so why do you think they're occulted? And I was just like, because they give hidden information. And she was like, so you think the Masons are a secret society? I said, no. I think they are a society with secrets. And she was like, so you believe that they worship the devil? I was like, no, because I don't believe in the devil. So now what? And then the one thing that killed her for 5 minutes on the way from Atlanta, because I had dropped my brother's car off to him for college. But she said that so Masonry is like Christian based, a society or a fraternity. And so when she said that, I said, how does God have a religion? And she said, I don't know. Like, she sighed and said, I don't know. And then how I knew her mind was questioning what she thought she knew, she had the music at a volume that you had to be scared to turn up because your thoughts were too loud. You can't get mad at what you gave birth to, mother. You gave birth to wisdom, and so I'm using it. That's all I observed from you. I looked up to you. I'm inspired by you. No matter what, you're still a genius, mother. And somebody can be like, you can tell your mom this in person. I would. But then if I do that, I'm talking to a brick wall. No pun intended. If you know about brick masons. I'll be talking to a brick wall. So it's just like, it's through one ear out the other. That's why I gotta go hard. Once the currency start flowing in abundantly, now all of a sudden her ears start working again. That's exactly why the more money you have in this realm, the more fake love begins to be. That's when you realize fake love, when the money starts coming in and when you're broke. But how are you broke when you're born abundant and rich or wealthy? Because what's rich when you're still broke spiritually? That's why all I have is a spirit. I don't need money to be satisfied in this world. I conquered my spirit. I'm aware of life. I'm so conscious that I scare unconscious beings. Thank you. If that makes me lonely, I can't be mad about that. Damn her ass. Sorry. I'm at work right now. Anyways. Okay. So that's where they push for stem cell research. These are lab-grown babies, designer babies. Remember the Cabbage Patch dolls? Not only symbolism for trafficking, but symbolism for lab-grown, aka blue ivy. What grows in patches, corn and ivy. The farming in a new light. Children of the corn. So the babies that you abort, they're turning into celebrities. Not only that, a lot of them are trafficked just to be sex dolls, to be sex slaves. A lot of them are meant to be. No, that's a goddess right there. Her avatar. So, no, I'll just be playing, bro. Somebody can be like, you're focused on the wrong thing. He's focused on, dude. Her avatar frame look nice. It's a light-skinned woman. Relax, nigga. Like, niggas are still retaining their thoughts. Niggas be too invested into the illusion. Like, nigga, have fun. Got your feelings, bitch. But these new, so like the generations after the 90s, late 2000s, early 2000s, late 2000s especially, they're also inverted, but their inversion goes deeper than the inverted Baphomet worshippers mindset. A lot of them are born in labs. Not only that, we are all formed from a laboratory. Any land in the Arctic wall, within the Arctic wall, is a laboratory. Every land, Canada, North America, South America, Europe, Russia, China, North Korea, South Korea, Antarctica, Alaska, these are all breeding grounds for inverted mindsets. Literally. Every being in this dimension we are all born to be cattle. Like, we're all farmed for their perversion. Because they realistically can't talk to actual natural women. They're ugly. They're disgusting. Literally. So women would never talk to them. So they had to pervert the mind to turn men into women and turn women into men. To satisfy their fantasy. So these angels haven't fallen. They just inverted from the extraterrestrial space of our dimension. They come from inner earths or inner dimensions. They come from inside of your perception. And we still can't perceive that perception. The Matrix was not a movie but a documentary. And I still watch that like it's a TV show. Because there are times I will sit in life and I'll play the game and I'll get lost in the game. And I had to always backtrack and realize, when you make a mistake, you're just wearing your truth no matter how big it looks. And it's just like, I want it to be perfect, but that's how you know when you mess up, wear it proudly. No pun intended. HGH, human growth hormone. No, it's called a sexual reproduction, then inversion. There's a channel on Telegram called Unhidden. It'll blow your mind just how many there are. So disappointing. Abominations. It explains everything if you want to know. Estrogen in the womb if they want a female? ? I just screenshotted just information because at this point, with every video, I get information, I pour it to you. As you sit there and think about drinking this water, that's purified with intention, by the way. If it was poison, I wouldn't even talk. But am I really talking about the information that was never here? So now as I pour the simulated information to you, I go back, I learn some more rapidly. I pour back to you some more on the next day. So now you got 2 loads of information that you didn't observe before. Then the more I keep doing that, I keep coming back with piles and piles of information. Once I'm able to fathom this topic, because it's been like 3 to 4 days right now. Once I fathom this topic in like a week or 2 weeks, I'm going to come back with all the information I dumped upon you, pick it up and say, you still need this? You're going to say, no, you don't. So I'm going to take it back with positive intention. I'm going to sit it down in front of me. I'm going to hold your hand, sit you right next to me. And then we're going to teach ourselves what we learned in a week or 2 weeks or a month, however fast we learn this inversion. These trans investigators, one of them, my supporter, she's been studying this stuff since she was 16 years old. And she's 40 now. All the work she's done, she's taught me in 3 or 4 days. You can't tell me I'm not loved by a higher celestial mother. All of them, all of them are, wait until they find out their favorite NFL players are all sports, ... They have a block. They refuse to see it. But females turned male would still have all the inherent weaknesses of female DNA, smaller frame, etc. Or am I wrong? I am still wrapping my head around how this actually plays out. Testosterone injections as well as, oh shit, can't remember the name. It's done in womb. If I find a name, I'll send it to you. HGH, human growth hormone. All right, the 8 genders of the Talmud. So Zakar, male. Nekave, female. Androgynous, having both male and female characteristics. Tumtum, or Tumtum, lacking sexual characteristics. Alienate, Hama, identified female at birth but later naturally developing male characteristics. They have names for what beings are today. They have names for what beings are today. How did they know that back then? Alienate, Adam. Identify female at birth, but later developing male characteristics through human intervention. Humans intervened with our mindset. That's why when I mentioned year 1 through 2025, even before then, we don't know how long they've been farming our consciousness and fucking us our whole entire life. Do you know how disgusting that is? And what's more disgusting, like, society allows it. Like, as I see people every day pretending to be happy, I sit there and be like, are you niggas not aware of how fucked we are? Like, niggas will sit here and go to work proudly, knowing that you mentally don't want to be here for real. We sit here and pay for gas, knowing that we shouldn't be paying for fucking gas. We're sitting here taking children to school systems knowing that they aren't being taught shit valuable for their reality. They are being taught how to be unconscious workers, dedicated unconscious workers in the working field. Cerise Hama, identify male at birth but later naturally developing female characteristics. Cerise Adam, identify male at birth and later developing female characteristics through human intervention. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Oh, there's another screenshot too. One of the Cabal secrets revealed. These people are transformed into utero. By the 8th week of pregnancy, the genitalia have not been formed yet, so they inject the opposite hormone. A blood test will reveal there's testosterone presence in the mother's blood into the womb. I said that way too fast, my bad, y'all. A blood test will reveal if there is testosterone presence in the mother's blood into the womb. The result is that the external part of the body is formed according to the hormone being injected. So a boy will be born with the skeleton of a woman with a penis, but he'll have to take external testosterone for the rest of his life. Some of you watching this, am I wrong? Conversely, if estrogen is injected, the boy will be born with a vagina, but will not be able to have kids, since they cannot pass through the narrow cavity in the pelvis. Old school transformers would just chop the testes of a boy or give the mother testosterone from animals in order to change the girl. That is their secret. It happens in nature by accident. Google what is a free Martin. Am I wrong? Some of you that watch my videos secretly, who are secretly admired by me as a woman pretending to be a man? Yeah, I know who you are. Shout out to my 2 trans investigators. Y'all like my celestial guardians. Free Martin is something that happens with cows. Somebody said free Martin is something that happens with cows. Not sure that term applies to humans in that same way. More like the hermaphrodites, no, question mark. And then a user said, I think would fall under medically induced hermaphroditism. Like humanism or humanism, whatever the fuck. These terms are so stupid to me. And then somebody said, so when the first part was like Jennifer Garner's a trans man, born a man, and her trans kids with Affleck. So somebody said, I know this, you know this, but not an easy conversation to have. Family thinks I am beyond help. So the HGH, the human growth hormone, also known as, human growth hormone or growth hormone, is a protein produced by the pituitary gland that impacts growth and metabolism throughout life. In children, GH stimulates bone and cartilage growth. Some of y'all who secretly watch me, am I wrong? You gotta take MK Ultra for the rest of your life and you think that you're conscious. Your parents, your guardians got you drugged up so you can take extra testosterone or like get whatever the hell this shit is. You gotta take pharmaceuticals every single day The only pills I take are iron pills because I got low iron. Other than that, I'm smooth. Taking maca root, ashwagandha, I'm cool. But some of y'all gotta take growth hormones. Some of y'all gotta take all these different pills and you still can't have kids. No wonder a lot of y'all like talk about semen and like retaining your energy. Nothing wrong with retaining your energy, but it makes sense on why y'all talk about certain topics. Because you realistically can't have kids, so you're jealous of people who can have kids and you want people to retain their energy for the rest of their life. Not knowing that people were not always doing that. Like you can retain your energy for 4 years, but it's just like you came here to multiply with your feminine perspective and give birth to a bunch of unconscious deities. But then it's just like, is your purpose to come here and give birth to unconscious deities and sacrifice them to a corporation called Babylon or America or ancient Egypt? Niggas looking up to Egyptians not knowing that these were the inverted perceptions of gods hiding behind masks and foreplaying our culture. Niggas asleep for real, boy. No projection needed because I'm giving it right back to you. Pause. For this topic, pause. Yes, I did. Ended up being... Oh, yeah. Somebody said, did you bother to Google Free Martin? She said, yes, I did. Ended up reading about microchimerism as well. And that's all the screenshots. But adopted with their genes infused in vitro. I missed that part. That was another screenshot. So, yeah, somebody said, how do two men have children? What am I missing? Adopted with their genes infused in vitro. Then I also said on Instagram too, I said these people, so right here, you gotta follow me on social media, that's what I said. These people are sick mentally for a reason. This is their karma and they're preparing to continually farm your child's consciousness while manifesting an AI hybrid race with no authentic sense of self. While manifesting an AI hybrid race with no authentic sense of self. This has been going on for centuries since before biblical timelines. Expose Baphomet worshippers and protect your children from groomers and attention seekers that hide behind this flag of an inverted occultic symbol beyond a satanic illusionary world under the eye of higher orders or dominions and principalities, looking up and submitting to Lucifer or the same being you call God. Save your children. Save your children from these beings. This spell gets so fucking deep that your family can be on it and they will never tell you. They'll get mad if you question what they think they know about themselves. Your family may secretly be trans and you may be the only natural one in the group. Is there a reason why they bullied you or assaulted you? And thank the Almighty for me not having to go through. That's why with some people's trauma, I can't relate. Like people who've been getting aped and groomed, I can't relate to that. But I do have a story time of how I was almost assaulted by a woman. But now I gotta question shit. But that was the like scariest time. That could be a story time too. And how I was able to get away from that. But her trauma was deep too. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like I gotta go back at an early age and think about all the shit I've been through. Like, man, since the year 1 to 2025, we have been, so the Goyim, they call us the Goyim. So when you talk to a Jewish, even though we are the real Jews, but we're not actually Jewish, but we are the image of God. When you ask a Jewish person or a Caucasian, when you ask those sand dwellers, what is a goyim? They will say it doesn't, they'll get mad and then they'll get offended and then they'll alchemize the question into victimization. They do it every single time. They play the victim when you catch on to their bullshit. We gotta stop these fat-nosed motherfuckers, man. We gotta stop Santa Claus. We gotta stop God. We gotta stop Allah. We gotta stop Lucifer. We gotta stop Buddha. We gotta stop Jesus. We gotta stop Lucifer. We gotta stop Satan. We gotta stop unconscious consciousness. But how can you stop the flow of life? And I still can't comprehend the flow of life. There's so much to say in this video. I don't even know how deep the rabbit hole gets with the inverted mindsets of Babylon. Basically, you had to look at your family, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers as one of them. If you can do a skull overlay and if you can see what your face or your eyes fit into as far as the man or woman, that's how you know what you are. So when Kendrick says or said, they not like us, you had to literally listen to those lyrics, excuse me, interpret what she is saying. Because Kendrick is a biological woman as well, playing a man. Excuse me. Confirmation, excuse me. When you realize that, you now gotta understand, like, who the fuck is he talking to? He's telling those higher orders, we, the rare beings who are in tune with the divine masculine and feminine side of ourselves, we are not like them. We're not the ones that want to sell out for a bag. We're not the ones that want to get down on our knees and suck dick for a Rolex or a Lexus. And niggas gonna still snatch your Lexus. We're not the ones that bend over backwards for Instagram followers or YouTube subscribers, like some of your favorite influencers. So Illuminati, you know you next too, right? It gets so deceitful in this world that these ancient bloodlines took our consciousness from Interstellar. Go watch Interstellar again. When they went into Gargantua and they observed through CERN, by the way, when they went through Gargantua and went back in time from the future through CERN, they collided our ego through the Big Bang's unconscious hypothesis. When they made that lie up, they inverted timelines, put it in a string theory. They created our atoms and they watched them evolve into beasts. They mark us at birth as bestialities or beasts with inverted mindsets. The moment we're born, lights, camera, action. Let's watch the unconscious experiments. Do you know how dark the world is? Anything inside of the Arctic walls is a breeding ground for solar energies. The solar system does not exist. Solar system literally means they lured your soul into an unconscious system of human trafficking. Have a great day. Have a safe day. Have a peaceful and loving and divine day. If you made it this far, tell yourself, I love myself. I am thankful for being alive with a new breath of life. Tell yourself, I love myself and I am thankful. If you made it this far, say, I love myself and I am thankful to have a new breath of life that I am observing. I love myself and I am thankful for having a new breath of life that I am observing. I am neither right nor wrong. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Go cop. But what cop am I talking about? When cops are the mediators for higher slaver or higher oppressors that enslave our subconscious mind. Have a great day, Divine Reflection.